Welcome back, YouTube brethren. This is another installment in the Harry Potter series, actually, just announced with a new protagonist, Mikey Checker, and the deathly onslaught of all the Quidditch Champion news that I feel compelled to make videos about.
I don't want your help.
One more time, here we go. So the last time I covered Quidditch Champions, I went over all the important details, both speculative and confirmed, for gameplay, release information, online modes, etc. And I thought I'd be done with Quidditch Champions content until the release came around and I could get some playthroughs uploaded onto the channel. But just a few days ago we had yet another big update drop on us, and a big part of it is seemingly coming in response to one particular detail that many supportive of the game have had contention with in regards to the online multiplayer format, specifically the 3v3 matches that were initially announced. And on top of this, I actually woke up this morning, as of the recording of this video, to find the game will be featuring none other than PS1 Hagrid? A game of culture, I see. So we'll be diving back into Quidditch Champions one more time before release to make sure you're all up to date with the latest, so bear with me and we'll go through it all. So Quidditch Champions released a roadmap via their social media channels on August 24th, which essentially outlines Unbroken Studios' future plans for the game in terms of updates, in-game events, and new content. The images I've captured for this video were taken from the Instagram page and are split into three separate sections. The first thing to bear in mind is the fine print at the bottom, stating that this roadmap is in fact subject to change at any time and does not include all in-progress work, yada yada yada, all the standard stuff you would expect. This is just the studio covering themselves more than anything, should anything need to be cut for whatever reason, or added for that matter, so there's pros and cons to that one there, but just bear in mind this little cliff note while we go through everything here. The first page shows what is planned for in-game content throughout September and October, starting with Season 0, Quidditch tryouts in the fall. Seeing as this is releasing at the start of fall, I assume this will be happening right out the gate, because I also assume, as someone who doesn't really follow sports, that Season 0 would be a qualifying season of some description maybe. I'm thinking your team would go through some qualifying matches in order to maybe play in Season 1, whatever that may look like. I could be way off with my assumptions there. Please let me know if any of you happen to know anything more that could enlighten my pitiful knowledge of how sporting events work, even the real ones. I mean, it also has tryouts in the header too, so this is why I'm thinking qualifier, as you'll be trying out for the season. Okay, this is hurting my brain too much from all the sporting jargon. Either way, it's an ambiguous title. I guess we'll learn more about that one upon release. Moving on, in September, we have the Hogwarts Legacy themed event. Another ambiguous event title. I'm unsure exactly the Hogwarts Legacy theme that could come into play here. Maybe there's a chance to win more broom skins or character skins from Hogwarts Legacy, as they've already made a Sebastian Sallow character model for this game for anyone who owns Hogwarts Legacy already and has it linked to their WB account. Maybe they have more skins to reveal, or team crests that are themed around some of the creatures in Hogwarts Legacy, the Graphorn or Thistral for example, or perhaps the Scottish Highlands is a pitch location? Or Feldcraft? It's only speculation on my part, but I reckon that would be pretty cool. And the last note on this page of the roadmap is the Halloween event in October. I'm guessing this one will be fairly straightforward. It'll just be pictures littered with Halloween decorations, pumpkins, candles and whatnot for, well, Halloween. Maybe there could be more cosmetic items up for grabs during this event, but I'm feeling this event will be more of a vibe setter, so to speak, rather than added locations or skins like I believe the Hogwarts Legacy event will be. And so that's the first section covered. The second section again shows what is, as of right now, planned in-game content, which is kicking off in the winter, so around the start of December I reckon. We have Season 1 Defense Against the Dark Arts. So now we have Season 1, which I imagine would be the official start of tournament play online. How it's themed around Defense Against the Dark Arts I can't even imagine, to be honest, although it would be pretty funny if the Defense Against the Dark Arts Season 1 match was just a bunch of Dementors going around terrorizing all the players and trying to knock them off their room. That'd be pretty funny. And following all that, we have the holidays at Hogwarts. Maybe like Halloween, but with Christmas decorations. I can't get too much out of this one, I admit. Maybe give us a Wizard's Chess minigame. Flick the old nose at Avalanche and say, see, was it that hard? And finally, the Yule Ball. Now, this could be a micro event within the holidays at Hogwarts event. If it's a standalone event, I imagine it'd be very short. But again, I'm thinking cosmetic decorations for the pitches. I don't know what more they could be conjuring up, out of these events here. It's a complete mystery. I did just have a thought though. Maybe we get Yule Ball outfit skins for Harry, Ron, Hermione, Fleur, Victor, Cedric, etc. As much as I hate to make my boy Ron smell like his great aunt Tessie, I might just have to do that if given the opportunity.
Murder me, Harry.
And with all of that, we reach the final part of the roadmap. Now this features only 2 things that are quote-unquote in development for 2024, and the first is the Nintendo Switch. Now this has been known for a little while. The Switch version was delayed for holiday 2024, and judging by this, I think it's safe to assume this is still the plan and it is being set for release near the end of 2024. But again, remember that little itty bitty fine print mentioned at the top of the video there when bearing this one in mind. And the second thing announced as in development for 2024 is the 6v6 player versus player format. Now this announcement is one that has caused quite the uproar within the Quidditch Champions community, in a good way that is. For those who have been following, you'll know that the community were very upset when it was announced that online multiplayer matches would be 3v3. Which meant 2 things. Firstly, of the 6 controllable Quidditch players in the game, each real-life player would be in charge of 2 each. But perhaps more importantly, it meant that players would not be able to truly build their ultimate Quidditch teams with their friends at the helm at their particular chosen roles. At the time this news dropped, I certainly understood the disappointment with this decision. Personally, I decided that I would proceed with the information by playing the game as it was being offered and then making my opinion known to Unbroken Studios as to whether 3v3 was the best option. I should say I was not involved with any playtesting for this game at all. Maybe if I'd played the game during those tests, I might have felt differently, as I've heard these things about the game were very different from the playtest to what was announced later on. But seemingly the community at large were quite willing to let their voices be heard, because after the 3v3 was announced, the Quidditch Champions social media channels started receiving heavy blowback about the decision, with many people commenting on their Instagram, Facebook and YouTube posts to remove bots from the game. I'm currently joined up to the Quidditch Champions Discord, and this is where I really saw a lot of that frustration being vented. It went on for days. People were tagging the community manager of the game, demanding an update and threatening, and in some cases actually refunding their pre-ordered copies. It was quite the spectacle to behold, really. But as hindsight would have it, the community's unrelenting passion and drive to get a 6v6 player mode paid off. The developers heard the message and decided to react in a way that would give the community exactly what they had asked for. Which is a good way to end that story, really. It could have been reversed, where Unbroken Studios just said, "Bugger off, mate," and released the game as it was, and it may have been okay, but this move ensures good faith with the game's fans and shows their willingness to listen, which is more than we can say for other studios, I'm sure. Now, on a more light-hearted note, and as I mentioned at the top of the video, we'll be receiving a PS1 Hagrid themed skin as a cosmetic option. This was announced just hours ago, as of the recording of this video, and honestly, this is an awesome move on the part of the devs to include this little reference from the early Potter games. If you haven't played those games, you may not be aware that the PS1 rendering of Hagrid in the original Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone PS1 game left quite the impression on the Potter community and would later become one of the biggest memes to come out of that early era of gaming. I'm just happy they kept him as handsome as he was in his original PS1 form, so I'll be looking forward to buying a dragon egg from a fella at the pub to celebrate my wins with PS1 Hagrid.
Thanks, you're a real friend.
So those are all the major updates that have been announced for Quidditch Champions. It seems to be a tale of triumph for the fans who wanted a bona fide competitive online mode. You can't get any better than that, I'd say. A couple of quick things before we close up here. I noticed after I uploaded my initial Quidditch Champions overview video that I missed an Instagram post of theirs regarding achievements, so I'll be putting that up on the screen real quick for you to have a look at. Also, if you happen to be stumbling across this video and maybe you're kind of interested in the game but are unsure or simply don't know much about the Harry Potter world, I'd recommend giving the Quidditch Champions Instagram or Facebook pages a follow. They have put up some cool little reels recently that will give you a brief overview of the various positions in the Quidditch game and how they'll work within Quidditch Champions itself. You can also link your Harry Potter fan club accounts to your Quidditch Champions account to unlock more in-game rewards if you have a Harry Potter fan club account. Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, you're an absolute legend, mate. Quidditch Champions will be released worldwide on September the 3rd. I'll be starting a playthrough series as soon as possible, possibly even a live stream or two, and I hope to see you all on the pitch. But until then, nitwit, blubber, oddman, and tweet.